Hello and welcome to another edition of Around the Best Town. I'm your host, Woodbridge Mayor John McCormac, and today I'm joined by three of Woodbridge's finest police officers from the best police department in the state. To my left is Officer Jessenia Minsal, to my right is Officer Khari Manzini, and to his right is Officer Anna Radowski. We're here today to talk about the Safe Place Program. And before we start, Khari, let me go to you. Tell me how this group formed in the state back in 2014. Tell me how the group of LGBTQ officers formed and how that whole started before we get to the program.
So this program started with a group called the Garden State Equality, which is a LGBTQ advocacy group, and the partnership of Chief Investigator, Middlesex County Corrections, Dave D'Amico, and his partner, the first openly gay New Jersey State Trooper, Lieutenant John Hayes. They came together and wanted to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the LGBTQ community to better be able to stop the underreporting of anti-LGBTQ crimes and to better recruit LGBTQ persons into law enforcement.
How tough do you think it was for the officer to be the first trooper to come out?
It's unimaginable to me.
I mean, the first NFL player, the first NBA player, the first New Jersey State Trooper. I mean, it's a difficult thing, a very difficult thing for him to have done.
Absolutely, and I won't ruin the story, but it was a surprise to him when he was outed as the first openly gay state trooper. So I'll let him tell that story, but I can only imagine the fear at the time that he had to endure, because although we've come a long way, it's just not how it used to be.
Right.
And things have progressed a great amount, but it's thanks to pioneers like Lieutenant John Hayes and Chief Investigator Dave D'Amico that we're able to have this kind of group and present this kind of programming.
Great. And Jess, tell me about the Woodbridge experience with this group.
So myself and Officer Manzini were part of the LGBTQ plus liaison team, and now in the state of New Jersey, there's over 50 plus members, and that's local, county, sheriff's department that's part of this team. We were recruited, just like how he said, by Chief Investigator David D'Amico and Lieutenant John Hayes of the New Jersey State Police. And then we were appointed to this position by Director Hubner, Deputy Director Niski, Captain Kuzma, and Captain Brady.
And does this group meet and communicate frequently?
Mm-hmm. We always set up monthly meetings. You know, we are always back and forth when it comes to emails.
Okay. And Khari, tell me about the Safe Place Program. Now, this is a program where, well, you tell me, you're better at it.
So the Safe Place Program was started by Officer Ritter in 2014 of the Seattle Police Department. He saw the need for the LGBTQ community and law enforcement to come together and work to solve anti-LGBTQ crimes. Oftentimes, LGBTQ youth were the subject of hate crimes. Oftentimes, they were kicked out of their homes. And experience homelessness on a level, on a ratio that was higher than their straight counterparts. And so in order to bridge that gap, he saw the need for it. In 2015, the program was trademarked. And ever since then, the program has been licensed to police departments. We contacted Officer Corio of Seattle Police Department, who now oversees the programming. And the program was licensed to us, and the way this even came about was Caitlin Dean, Officer Caitlin Dean of the Highland Park Police Department, had already had the program licensed to her in Seattle from the Seattle Police Department, and it was an outstanding program. And so through this group, we got to meet Officer Caitlin Dean, and we loved the idea. And so we worked tirelessly to get the licensing done, and it's a rigorous process. You have to make sure that there's hate crime statutes in the state law, and you have to make sure that there's a uniform reporting network where hate crimes will be, reported. And so we met the criteria based off of accreditation and based off of New Jersey's own statutes. And the program was licensed to us, just like it was licensed to Officer Caitlin Dean at Highland Park PD. And since then, we've adapted the program to basically fit our needs for the unique needs of Woodbridge Township, and utilize all of what the town has to offer in terms of businesses and schools and so forth. So.
All right, let's go to you now. Explain the program to people watching. What does the Safe Place program do?
Well, the Safe Place, each business can actually apply for a decal. And the decal is actually a very colorful sticker that's very evident and obvious to see. And once a business organization wants to become part of the program and they become registered with the police department, they will then obtain a decal from us, and they can place that on their front doorway area. So it's very evident and easy to see. So anyone who will become a victim or a biased crime, they know that this is a safe place for them to enter, and they can get the assistance either from a business owner or a manager from that organization, and they can call then 911, and we will respond as police officers to the incident, or they can be provided with a resource list, and that list can be given to them if they need any type of other assistance. And those decals will be handed out by our police department, and either a business or an organization can call us on our non-emergency number, which is 732-634-7700, and they can be directed to our community affairs unit, or they can actually email us. And the email is safeplace@twp.woodbridge.nj. US, and they can enter their business name, their address, and their phone number. And once we get that information, we know that they're registered in our township, and then we have them designated as a safe place. And we also have all the schools that are going to be part of the safe place. Anything that has to do with the township of Woodbridge, City Hall is our first location that we made as a safe place location. And I know we have the Chambers of Commerce and the Community Center.
Right,
so
the Club at Woodbridge.
The Club at Woodbridge.
You said the schools, and it's not just businesses, right? It can be an organization.
Yes.
It can be an Elks. It can be
church.
A church.
We are not, obviously, we're not going to be giving out the stickers to private residences. So this can be any type of organization or a business or anything church related, as you said.
So the idea is to make a comfortable place where somebody can go in, and not just kids, right? It can be anybody.
There is no age limit.
Right. So somebody, they know, they see that rainbow sign, they see the word safe place. It's comforting.
Yes.
Tell me, would you have liked to have seen this 20 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. Just having a place where you can go and you don't have to worry, okay, I'm going to be judged. Someone's going to follow me in here and no one's going to speak up for me or do anything. Just having that, again, it's a safe place. Just having that place where, you're comfortable and you're like, you can finally breathe.
Go ahead.
If I may, representation matters. When you're growing up, and even I want to really give a special shout out to seniors who may be experiencing, being in the closet or not understanding or not knowing how they can figure out their path to enjoying themselves and being who they are. Sometimes everything starts, your journey to becoming who you are starts with just a little bit of symbolism, a sign, a sticker on a window. If someone has experienced if they're a bias incident and they don't know where to turn, just seeing that symbolism, knowing that not only does the community support you, not only does these businesses that display our decal support you, but the police department supports you. I think that's just a tremendous, way to move forward and to move along and go through this journey of coming out and experiencing, just that little bit of a push that you come out and are able to be comfortable as who you are.
But you must feel some intimidation factor to think, well, I don't really want to walk into the police department.
Right.
So there's got to be that comfort of saying I can go a safe place. I can go someplace else and talk to somebody.
Right.
So tell me, I got a whole list here of all the different resources that are available when somebody goes in. There's, of course, our town nursing department.
Right.
You can easily call them. They can be of help.
Right.
Middlesex County Center for Empowerment.
Absolutely.
Women Aware.
Right.
It tends to be domestic violence victims.
Absolutely.
Catholic Charities. Rutgers Mental Health. Pride Center.
Right.
So all the people that are in the safe places will have under the counter or on someplace a list of all these places.
Right.
They're not counselors, but they can help them get to the right place.
Exactly. And we wanted to offer a broad spectrum of resources and services that are narrowly tailored to the LGBTQ community, so that they are able to seek the resources that they need just in case they don't necessarily need the police department. But if they do, we're always willing to help them navigate through the resource list and see what they need, and also report these crimes that they may be the victim of. And so we just wanted to offer the most broad spectrum of services and care for the LGBTQ community and all victims of any kind of crimes. This is what the program is for.
And now the two of you are community affairs officers. So you're used to being out, not just with this topic, but you're used to being out in the entire community with senior clubs, with school groups, with nonprofit groups. This is just another example of the Woodbridge PD getting out into the community, targeting the groups that you want to target. You want to talk about the whole community affairs effort?
No, absolutely. It shows our community that we're moving forward. We're becoming more progressive. Maybe 50 years ago, we probably wouldn't have seen these faces on the law enforcement spectrum, and now we are getting more diversity. And just to show the community that we are getting more inclusive. As times change, we evolve. We are a melting pot of nationalities and ethnicities, and everybody who wants to move to Woodbridge, they're more than welcome. And we hope that when people see us from the public, they can see themselves. And I'm a Polish immigrant, and we have Officer Manzini, who's South African, and we have Officer Minsal, who's Hispanic, and we want to represent the community. We want to show them how inclusive we've become, and we're moving forward. So just having this one program shows the community that how far we've already come across right now. And we want to also deter criminals from doing any type of bias crimes or incidences like that, and to show also the LGBTQ community that the community is very supportive and inclusive. And we have multiple programs through community affairs. We're always, like you said, we are always working with our senior citizens. We go into our schools, we do presentations. We want to
box food up at Wegmans.
Yes, we box food. We do holiday events, anything that we can possibly do to bring the public together and show them that we do care. And not just that we come to work and we respond to 911 calls. We have another fun aspect of our job where we do get to go out to the community and we get to share stories and we get to bring people in. We do tours, for the Boy Scouts. We just had one a week ago where we're able to show them, City Hall. So it's the community affairs. It's a great liaison between the community and the law enforcement department.
And Jess, you're especially good with the kids because you just graduated high school last week. So tell me about, I love watching you when you talk to the kids and they come in and they can, especially the females, that can see, in all of you. I mean, 25 years ago, if we had this interview, it would have been a white male mayor, but it would not have been a Hispanic female, a European female, or a black, or members of the LGBTQ community. That would not have happened 25 years ago.
Right.
So tell me about that experience of being the role model with the kids as you go school to school, or you come to parades. You're always out at everything we do publicly. You're there as the person, and one of the many people, the face of the police force. Tell me what that's like.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just good with kids. I don't know. I see their faces and they get so excited. I want to, sometimes police officers are looked as scary amongst children, and I just want to show them, like, hey, I'm just like you, and like showing young females, like, you can do it too, like, you can be strong. Also, I'm a child, so it's easy.
So we're actually let out a secret. We're about to getting close to hiring our first officer on the alternate route program. This is a case of somebody who used to work for the town in a different capacity, left to be a cop somewhere else, a young black guy, and he's coming back to be a police officer. It is an amazing story. Because this, well, I wasn't going to release the whole name and everything.
Now you out him already.
Well, we're still working on it, but we're getting close. We're planning a swearing-in ceremony. That's how good it is. So now our schools. Kendall Ali, who I'm sure you've known, but you know by now, a fantastic guy. He's the head diversity officer for the schools. Each school has, let me get my notes here so I say it the right way. Each school has a school equity team, which is members of the staff that are, I guess, trained in certain aspects of education to be on that school equity team. And then every school has a diversity council, which means all the people from the staff, as well as parents, as well as members of the community. All of you take a shot at how important is that effort on behalf of the school district, and then that can help tie into the Safe Place Program and others. How important is that to have those assets and resources? Who wants to go first?
I think it's instrumental. I think that having a team that values diversity, knows how to focus on making sure that our curriculums are inclusive. The way we recruit students and engage with students is a way that is not just universal, but we're able to actually make an impact in these children's lives. That's incredibly important, and it translates to us and this program even. This program, along with the school board's efforts that they have, we're going to be putting forth with them, it just reaffirms our commitment to the entirety of the community. And it reflects in the school district, it reflects in the police department, and it reflects up and down the Woodbridge Township government.
Leave something for Jessenia here.
Absolutely.
I think he said it all.
No. You gotta chip in.
I believe that Officer
Manzini's covered it well.
I mean, it just shows that we support quality and justice for everyone. And this community has come really far from where it was before, and we're just a melting pot. And I love that we're so diversified, and we're continuing on the right path. And we want people to know, especially our community, that we're here, we're working for you, and we're representing you constantly. And if we can also keep adding, another program that might help and assist and educate, then why not? If we have the resources and we can do it and we can present it, well, then we're going to continue doing.
So now, you don't know much maybe about the accreditation program. I don't know if you're directly involved in that, but the fact that every 3 years, people come in from across the country that don't know Woodbridge, they don't know anybody here, we don't know them, and they sit here and work here for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks in a row, and they analyze every single policy, procedure, practice, every piece of paper, every book, every manual, and they come out and we just pass with flying colors. What does that mean when you're a police officer to know that you're part of what really is the best PD in the state?
I feel pride. Like how you say, we're the best town around.
Do I say that? That's a good line. I might use that. That's a good idea.
You heard it here first. He's taking my line. No,
It's the highest standard,
Yeah.
and we meet it and we surpass.
I just feel like Woodbridge Police, we set the standard and we surpass it. So
And I people could say you're just a politician, you're just saying that, but it's really, really true.
Right.
And you guys back it up every day with the fact that we come through this study with flying colors.
Right.
I sit down every 3 years with the reviewers for a closing interview, and they just don't stop gushing about the Woodbridge PD.
Right.
So while we're on it, let's talk about, we're getting close to the holidays. We're almost in the holidays. What can people in town do to be safer for the holidays? Who wants to take that and talk about as you shop, as you travel, as you know?
Do you want to start with the safety holiday tips?
Well, okay, so just a couple of them, right? For when it comes to shopping, obviously, and driving wise, just make sure you lock your cars, roll up your windows, don't leave any of your valuables, your gifts, purses, anything out in the open in your vehicle where, thieves can see. If you're shopping at night, make sure you park in
A lit spot. Yeah.
Exactly, a lit spot. Just little things like that. Just always be aware of your surroundings.
When you're shopping, if you do have to do, we obviously we prefer daylight hours, but if you do go at night, take a friend, take a family, a relative, so you're not going alone. We want to make sure that if you go shopping, don't bring a lot of cash with you. If you have to purchase it with a credit card, purchase with a credit card, because the moment you open up your wallet and someone sees that you have a couple $100s coming out, it's tempting for a thief to go right after you, and they might follow you to your car. So we want to deter the thieves following you because they see that you have a lot of cash in your wallet. If you can take a credit card with you. If you can avoid bringing small children with you, if you can leave them at home with a trusted babysitter, a relative, and go shopping by yourself, because sometimes we know that with the holidays coming around, it gets a little bit crazy, and you might be carrying 20 shopping bags, and then you have your 2 kids with you. So if it's better for you to leave the kids at home, leave them at home. Try to be aware of your surroundings when you're leaving the shopping mall, plaza, or a store, and when you're carrying all those items. And if somebody's following you and you don't feel comfortable, then you can reach the police department, or you can ask a mall security officer to maybe walk you to your car and escort you. So be aware where you park your vehicle. Try to, like as Officer Minsal said, in a well-lit area, try not to park it somewhere far off where you're parking it behind vans or campers. Also, anything with, I'm trying to think what else we could.
Shop local.
Shop local. We just want to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings. And there's sometimes con artists that will come up to you, and they will walk you to your car, and during that time they might be pickpocketing you from your purse. So have your purse very close to you. Don't leave it on a shopping cart. Don't leave it somewhere else. And if you do, then if you forget where your credit cards were, report them right away that they're lost or stolen, so that they can stop the transaction right away. And if you do carry your wallet, maybe carry it in your front pocket. For you gentlemen, instead of the back
always
pocket.
do, yeah,
Instead of, because it's easy access for someone to go behind you.
Tell me about the toy drives. Every year, the PBA, Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, and all the police officers will get kids and go with the kids shopping. That is the coolest thing. It's not just let's go buy some stuff and drop it off. They go over Walmart and they'll just bring the kids, and they will go to the house and they'll bring Santa Claus with them. How cool is that?
It's just another example of what our PBA and our SOA. It just shows commitment to this community. And I think it's one of our coolest things that we get to do as officers. It's a tremendous partnership between local businesses. We don't do this necessarily by ourselves. Like I said, Walmart has been instrumental in making sure that we have the resources to supply the kids with for the toy drive. And like I said, it's a great partnership between the PBA and the SOA, which is the Supervisors Officers Association. Just a great opportunity for us to bridge that gap, make those bonds with the youth.
How cool is it for a kid to be walking around, a young girl, 4, 5, 6 years old, to be sitting in a shopping cart or walking around Walmart with you in uniform, saying, "I want that. Can you get me that?"
We don't walk. We run. We run straight to the aisles. They know what they want, and it's so cute just to see their face.
It's
light up.
amazing. It's just amazing.
I love it. I do. I do it every year.
I think some of the officers pick out their toys too.
100%. Look, that one's a good one. Take 2.
Yeah. Maybe get like a board game that they want to play and just hide it and just take it out before,
And actually, this year is our second year that we joined efforts. So we're working with the Senior Billiards Club of Woodbridge.
Oh, you are? Okay.
And we're also collecting any new unwrapped toys.
So where does somebody bring them?
They can bring them to the Woodbridge Community Center.
Okay, that's a home base. They have the billiards club room, right? Okay.
Absolutely, and
Those men and women are terrific.
Oh yes,
Yes,
and
they are.
they're wrapping presents and they're working continuously. They volunteer their time, and we're looking for ages between 2 and 14, boys and
Unwrapped.
girls. Unwrapped, brand new toys.
Okay. And last week, Thursday, you went to Wegmans and you boxed up meals for people, 100 meals, right?
Yes.
And got them right out to the schools. The police officers delivered them right to the schools. And from there, the principals will see that it gets to the right houses. Another great effort for Thanksgiving coming up.
Yes,
Right.
and we wouldn't be able to do it without our local businesses
Right,
that
right.
help and contribute and
Wegmans
donate.
is the best.
Wegmans, Woodbridge
Absolutely.
Ford made a tremendous donation.
Yes,
The health and fitness.
and then the family of Officer Harris as well. They
Oh, okay.
contributed. So without the donations, we wouldn't have been able to even cover that amount. And the names kept coming in, and we didn't say no.
You never say no.
We never say no.
Councilwoman Meehan, she always has a great drive
Right.
for toys and
Absolutely.
for food and everything. So we've got about a minute left. So the light parade's coming up. Last year's light parade, the police officers kind of didn't really step up. It was the fire companies had their trucks, the first aid, the cops, it was okay. You guys have
It
anything?
was a short notice.
All right, that's what I'm asking. You have any better plans this year?
This year we have a surprise. We're going to be coming in hot.
We got it down pat.
Prepare yourself for Saturday.
Yep, light parade, yep.
The light parade
The
is
stroll and then the tree
Yes.
lighting.
which starts at 5:30 for
About
the tree
that, yeah,
lighting
yeah,
ceremony,
we're still working up
and
all the
then
details.
6 p.m. for the light parade. So we have the fire departments, we have
yeah.
the ambulances, we have
We have
township
random trucks from
vehicles.
other places.
So we have the police department. And it's going to be
I'm
better
looking out
this
for
year
you,
than
all right.
last year. So I know this is our second annual light parade. I know it's going to be even better.
Well, folks, you've seen now why we have the best police department in the state of New Jersey, because Officer Jessenia Minsal, Officer Anna Radowski, and Officer Khari Manzini are great examples of the diversity we have, the professionalism we have, the fun we have. Once again, thank you for watching Around the Best Town, featuring the best police department in the state of New Jersey, the Woodbridge PD.